I don't want to study more.
I don't think that I would be able to pass any exams and stuff. I can't do
Exactly.
that.
The biggest fear is sometimes I sleep, and the biggest fear for me is to be sitting in an exam. I really wanted to do masters right after my bachelor's degree, but then I got into job.
But I always believed that finance and risk management is something that is a very safe option. Yeah. So there's never going to be a time where you're going to be unemployed. If you're a master's in finance and risk management, what happens is that basically I go ahead on a call with an AI, and they talk to me, they respond to me, and my main goal is to make sure that I process my sale to them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Know Your VA. Today we have the dynamic, we call him Danny. And he's been with us, one of the oldest associates in RepStack, almost 4 years, mashallah.
No, almost 4 years.
Yeah. So welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's long overdue.
Yes, indeed.
I've been watching all the podcasts and
Yeah.
wishing, why wasn't I here?
So he's full-time working with RepStack, doing his media thing as well. Hardcore workout. Love the way he's transforming and taking care of his body as well. So it'll be a nice conversation. Then let's start with, I'm sure you're from Karachi, and so where did you get your education from?
I
And
got my O levels from DHA public school in phase 8. And then once I completed my O levels, then I went to A levels. There was a college right next to my school. It was South Shore, but I think somebody bought it now. But I was in South Shore. After that, I did my bachelor's from ICRA. I was just plain and simple BBA honors. And then I went for my master's. It was in CBM in finance and risk education. But I'm still left with 2 semesters, so I left it midway.
so you didn't think that you should go back, or it's just not worth it, or
No, honestly, an additional degree is worth it. But there was a lot of stuff happening in life. Then a lot of things came in between, situations like that. And now that I think about it, now I'm too... I don't think that I would be able to pass any exams and stuff. I don't know. I can't do that.
The biggest fear sometimes I sleep, and the biggest fear for me is to be sitting in an exam again.
I know.
It really gets difficult.
You
with
can't.
that.
I can't.
I remember I was working for Ericsson, and I worked with them for 12 years. And they had this program that if you've worked in Ericsson for 5 years,
Okay.
and their master's degree is on them. Like
Oh, wow.
everything covered, whichever university you want. Never applied for that. I was like, no, I don't want to study more. I think experience is something that is far more valuable than education.
Absolutely. In this, and especially in this age and term, I believe first-hand experience is way more important than degrees. I believe degrees actually shape your personality in a way because of the exposure. You meet different people, you grow your social circle, your connections for future. And it's very important. But I always believe that first-hand experience is way more important than any sort of degree.
Yeah, definitely. I think I really wanted to do masters right after my bachelor's degree, but then I got into job, and then I realized that I saw people literally working as CEOs, that they were also bachelors, but every year that you're working, the experience it's a whole new degree every year. Actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So tell us about. So you were doing masters in finance, right?
Yes.
And then switch to sales. How did you manage that, and why was that?
Honestly, finance was not my choice, but I always believed that finance and risk management is something that is a very safe option. Yeah. So there's never going to be a time where you're going to be unemployed. If you're a master's in finance and risk management, there's never going to be a time that you're going to be unemployed, because one way or another there will be somebody that needs to evaluate their risks and everything. And that is the reason why I started doing it. And then I immediately regretted it, like first semester in and all the finance and all the stuff. And I regretted every moment of it. But I was like, I'll get through it somehow. And then one day I was just job hunting and I came across RepStack. And I just applied, and it was very new for me because at that point in time, along with my CV, they wanted a video actually.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they wanted a video of my introduction, nothing specific, nothing fancy. They just wanted me to create a video of my introduction. That was something that struck out. I was like, why do they need my introduction video? I mean, the CV is there.
Yeah.
So I just applied. I was like, okay, let's just see. I'm not even gonna get it. But then I got a call from you guys, and once I started working, honestly, once I started working, I believe I was inclined a little bit towards sales because I personally believe that I am a people's people, and I know how to talk. And I love having conversations with people, talking to them, listening to them. So I think sales was much more my forte. And then almost 4 years down the lane, so now I know that sales is definitely my forte.
Yeah, I think it happens. I did engineering, telecom engineering,
Oh.
and then I went into an engineering job. 3 years down the road, I realized that I saw an opportunity in sales.
Yeah.
And when I started sales, then I was like, what the hell was I doing back there? So you just get an opportunity, and then that's how you move
No, absolutely.
with life as well. I think RepStack was 10 people when you joined. Maybe
It was
less.
very new.
Maybe less actually.
That I'm 100% sure it was very new, because at that point in time when I got the call and everything, then you guys told me that you guys were starting out as well, starting off. And then immediately in my interview, I spoke to Josh.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it was an interview where it was Azhar and it was Josh and it was me. So it was like a three-way Zoom conversation.
Yeah.
And there are very few people now. And now that we have that Slack channel and everything, when I look back at it and I look at all the people, that makes me very happy that I'm one of those people that they're still there.
Yeah.
So that makes me very happy.
Yeah, and Josh is the oldest client as well. He has two people from us. The client, he was the client number one. And definitely, I'm saying it on camera, not the easiest person to please. If you've been with him for 4 years, you've done a great job.
Thank you, honestly. But in all my encounters with Josh, I believe I've never heard him, and I'm honestly saying, I'm not being biased or anything like that. I've never heard him say anything that I believe would be, this does not make sense or this is not fair. You're asking too much of me. And he's actually helped me over the time improve my skills, improve my sales. And he might be difficult, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys have different approach.
Not difficult. I think
Very precise. I think he wants things done in a certain way.
Exactly.
I understand that.
And that's how he has helped around. I think now the agencies grow to seven figure.
Yeah.
So that's
he's a
how,
coach as well, right?
Yeah, he's a coach.
Of course.
That's his main forte right now. And really a big fan of that guy. Every time we meet, every 3 months, and it's always you learn something from him every time.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And he's still a young guy. I think he's 37, 38.
Yes, I know. I because we have these webinars, I don't know, every 2 months, something like that. It's one of the approaches that we take. And then we have this monthly company meetings as well. So every time you hear him speak, you learn. You pick up a couple of things, even if you don't go ahead and pick up something technical, but you still understand the way that he talks, the confidence and everything like that. I think that's very important in sales.
Yeah. And tell me, when you started off, I'm sure your sales skills were good, but they were not as polished as they are today. How did you change yourself during these 4 years, or no, it was the same thing? I just keep selling the same thing, or do you see any difference from them to today?
Absolutely. Number one, my sales was absolutely terrible.
Oh, really?
Absolutely terrible. Because the forte that I'm working at is plumbing HVAC companies, right? So I've never had the chance to speak to anyone who's owning a plumbing or HVAC company at any given point in time. So for me, it was very new. So thanks to Josh and Christian, major shout out to these two people. From the start, obviously, I had a script to understand the overview of what we're selling, how we're selling it. And then Josh took a lot of mock calls. And then once I was ready, once I was on the ground, then obviously there were a lot of things, a lot of errors that I was making. And then there was Christian there. He's my director. So I think these two people helped me over time. And over time, as I talk to more people, I understand the thought process. So I believe sales is a very ongoing, continuous learning field. You can't really say that I'm 100% at sales, because every day you meet a new person.
Yeah.
So major shout out to these two people, and plus we have this generated software. I talk about it a lot. It's called Sell Me This Pen. I'm not sure if you know about it, but it's called Sell Me This Pen. Josh came up with it. He gave it to me. So what happens is that basically I go ahead on a call with an AI, and they talk to me, they respond to me, and my main goal is to make sure that I process my sale to them. So Josh actually gave me access to that.
Nice.
And then I had to go through it over and over and over again, and started off with 20% success ratio, and then reached out to 40, 60, 80. So I believe, obviously, polishing, and major shout out to these two guys.
Nice. You're a busy person. You have the other thing going on as well, and then you work out and everything. I work out as well.
I
So I
know.
know that it's something that you need to prioritize as well.
Absolutely.
How do you cope with all that? And just tell the mantra behind it. How do you prioritize your stuff?
Nowadays, I'm watching your stories to motivate myself, honestly. And in all honesty, because I know that you run marathons and I don't know how you do it. It's an absolutely amazing job. But this is one of the reasons why I've started running. So I just run a bit, but I go to the gym very often. It's partly because of the other work that I do. So one of those necessary things is to be in shape, right? But it started off that way, but then it became a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now it's become a lifestyle to that extent that if I don't go to the gym someday, I really feel like I don't have anything else to do. I just don't feel productive at all. So I'm like, I didn't do much today.
Yeah.
And so I'm not on diet. I don't do anything. I eat healthy. And eating healthy means that there are occasions when I munch on pizzas, burgers, and everything, but in all limitations. And I believe it's our body and we're growing up. No one's getting any younger. I'm growing up. So I believe I need to stay fit.
Yeah.
Because the more you get older, the more you're immune to all of these things. So I think that's about it. Plus the marathons and everything.
No, I think you mentioned that diet is definitely a factor, but it's
100%.
not something that we can still survive without. Because but even relating to the workout thing, when I wake up every morning, I don't have anything to do, and everybody's sleeping at that time. I wake up. I'm a really early riser, 5:30,
Oh, wow.
5:30, 5, sometimes 4:30.
Oh, no, that's too much.
So the only thing is that my gym trainer, and that's why we've been together for long, because he starts at 5. So I'm there. I'm done in 45 minutes, and then I wake up actually.
That's I
So that's the
understand.
best part of the day as well.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
it freshens you up.
Yeah,
When you
it
work
does, it
out in the
does.
morning, it really gives you the energy boost that you need.
Definitely. I go drop my kids after that, and I have such a nice conversation every time, every day, because you're on a high. You're on
You're
a high.
pumped up and you
Yeah.
worked out. You know that you've done something productive.
Yeah,
Oh, very
exactly,
nice. I
exactly.
wish I was one of those people, but
Yeah. So I'm here in Karachi for a day, and for tomorrow I've already aligned a couple of people that I'm gonna run with
Oh,
in the
really?
morning. Yeah, 7 a.m. So just it just became so much addictive.
oh, that's so
sometimes that,
cool. Oh, that's so nice.
yeah. So if you wanna join, you can.
Absolutely. I would love to, but I won't be able to run as much as you guys, but
No, but we can
Def-
run less. Yeah, we can
definitely.
run.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm as soon as I've started running, I've realized that it's really healthy.
Yeah.
Gives you a lot of benefits. You feel really fresh. I think you feel really healthy. You feel strong actually. Your legs feel strong the more you run and everything. Okay, I'm not that big of a runner as you, obviously, but I've just started like 3K, 5K runs, 5 kilometers, and that's about it.
That's good enough actually.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your the other side, the other thing, the media side. How do you cope with that, and how is it going as a career?
Honestly, it's thanks to RepStack and the work from home policy. Is that when I'm shooting, I'm also an actor. I try to be an actor, Pakistani dramas. But what I do is that I have a very fixed routine that I've tried and tested over and over the past couple of months. So this is the most successful thing. So what I do is I wake up at 10, I go to my work, and then I carry my laptop along with me. So if I'm shooting, so everybody knows at that job, everybody knows that I have another job. So as soon as it hits 6 p.m. here, so I start working. So I am allocated another separate room because everybody knows I have a job. So I work there in peace and calm. And if I have to go outside for a shoot for 5-10 minutes, so I go ahead and mark it out, go and come back. And then I work on my way back. And then I work, and then I sleep and then repeat.
Nice,
And that's
nice.
about it.
Definitely, this is not, he's being very, that this is how to do it. People will be like, no, that's not possible. But I think it's possible if you're working with, because I know the client he's working with, and for 4 years,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can't be slacking for sure. That's,
No,
that's
definitely.
something that I really.
No, honestly, I'm actually low-key scared of how Josh is. I just don't want to go ahead and make sure to piss him off or anything.
Yeah.
And even Christian. So I just make sure that I am 100% at this job. Even if I'm not 100% there, I can take it off there. That's fine. So I don't think that you can slack it off.
Nice.
Especially.
For the people who just started the sales roles or things in sales, anything you would like to suggest, any tools, any suggestions that are right? Maybe there's something that you were doing wrong and then you started doing it right, something like that.
Absolutely. The first and foremost thing that I would suggest to everybody is to be patient. To be patient, to have patience is the biggest key. It's because there will be days when you're an amazing seller, when you're on the moon, over the moon, and you think that you're the best. And there will be days when people are not even going to talk to you. They're going to hang up on you. And it really affects it does not matter what you say, it does affect you. If you're a seller, if you're a good seller, and then you see people hanging up on you, then it does affect you. But I want you to understand, everybody who's starting off is that there will be good days, there will be bad days, just like how life is. That's how sales is. So there will be good days for you, there will be bad days for you. So remember to be patient. And sales is basically just like any other skill. You just got to polish it. You just got to polish it. And that's about it. You keep working hard, and then you just know what you're selling. Number one, know what you're selling. Be patient and be kind. And more, the biggest thing that I think that's very important is, instead of speaking too much, you need to understand that you need to listen as well. The biggest art of selling something is to listen very carefully to what the other person is saying. Just not throwing away your speech and making sure that I've told you everything.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be very calm. You need to listen to what the other person is saying. And over time, just like any other skill, just like gym, just like bodybuilding, and anything at all, you're just going to get the hand of it.
Nice, nice. And any tools that specifically you
Yes, as I discussed earlier, I believe right now at this point in time, if you want to improve and polish your sales, Sell Me This Pen is probably one of the best tools right now. This is something that I use in today's time as well. What happens is that it gives you a reality check, because that AI is programmed in a way that it's not going to be convinced easily. So you write down that you don't want it to be convinced easily. You want it to ask questions. You want it to be satisfied. You want it to be 100% sure. So there are a lot of times where the AI hangs up on you. And you're like, with real-time experience, the AI hangs
the
up on
last
you.
thing you want.
Exactly. This has happened multiple times. I'm speaking to the AI, like, listen, I have to go. I'm in a meeting, and they hang up on you. So it gives you a very reality check and close to life experience. And I think right now, for a salesperson, I think it's one of the best things. You just keep doing that.
Nice, nice. And for people who are just starting their careers, and the kids from universities or just done, or people who are starting their careers at RepStack, any final words for them? Any word of wisdom?
But honestly, I think you've made one of the best choices joining RepStack. And truly, I was not paid to say this. This is not any sort of paid promotion. But truly, I believe that you made a very good choice. And I want you guys to understand that times are changing, and you need to understand that the traditional methods might not work. And the best part about RepStack is that it is adapting to change, since you guys are from the US and here as well, so you understand it. And I believe that you need to be patient. And the one thing that is going to be constant is that you do not need to switch jobs very quickly. Don't jump from one job to another just for a couple of bucks, honestly. I believe give it time. It's been 4 years here, and I believe this is the best decision that I've made, honestly.
Definitely. I think we are also looking for long-term employees.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I really see in today's world is that people are switching jobs very quickly. And might be for a couple of bucks, might be a good thing, but it doesn't really work out, because I've been working 20 years. I know it doesn't really,
Exactly. In the long term, it does not work out well.
So thank you so much, Danny. Thank you for
thank you
being
so
here.
much for
Everybody
having
who
me,
comes
actually.
to my podcast gets this.
Oh, I love
It'll
it.
help you out in your gym workouts as well.
Oh, I love it. I love the
So-
color and everything. But honestly, thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. And I'm very happy being here.
It's always a pleasure talking to you. Take care.
Likewise. Thank you.
you.